Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Duduzile Kupeka. Welcome to Mathematical Literacy Grade 12. On the first slide, it's my personal details. So the email address is provided there for any questions you may have regarding mathematical literacy. Like I mentioned last week, we'll be covering past papers. The very first one we'll be covering is the grade 12 one for paper 1 for November 2018. So the final exam for November 2018 will cover the finance section then. So the paper 1 will be split between today and tomorrow because there won't be enough time to finish everything. That's why it will be split. So if you have access to that paper,
Teacher, please just verify your connection. I can't hear anything from you. Okay, guys, please just stand by while we are attending to this little issue. I will be back with you very shortly. Welcome back, teacher. If you can please screen share for us.
it just cut off. I'm so sorry. Can I?
No problem whatsoever. We waited for you and we're ready to continue. Thank you very much. You can continue.
All right, guys, apologies once again for that. We are looking at this advert from question 1.1. Question 1.1, we've got it's the Black Friday special at this store. So what are they offering at this special right here? There is the name of especially when is it happening? It's the annual Black Friday in 2017. So these items shown here are the items on sale. The note beneath there says 1 liter is equals to 1,000 milliliters. And then there's also one that states that all amounts given include the discount. So it means the prices we see here are inclusive of the discount. Ne? So now we will get on to answering the questions that follow. Question 1, write down the number of days on which these prices are valid. So we look at these prices, right? We look at the whole advert before you even begin answering your question. And please don't undermine these questions and think, it's easy or it's only 1 mark or whatever. Look at the question and understand. And please interact and engage with me in the chat box so that we can move quicker, and we engage and I get that you understand the work. On which, write down the number of days on which these prices are valid. Keyword here is number. So you want to know the number of days on which these prices are valid. Which ones are those? The number of days on which these prices are valid. One day, yes, it is 1 day. We can see that it says annual Black Friday. So it's only 1 day, which is that Friday. So it is 1 day. Your answer is 1 day. Question 2, calculate the original price of the heath before the saving. The heath before the saving, I don't know if I'm saying it right. I've never seen this item in my life. But we need to calculate the original price. So there is this product, right? We first locate the product here. There is the product. Before the saving, we see that you are saving 70 rands and it's selling for 250 rands right now. So to calculate the original price, what do we do? Okay, thanks, Limon Reds. 320. How did we get the 320? Let us look at the steps. Price before saving is that 70 rands you'll be saving plus the 250 rands. Oh, okay. Thanks, Hemia. I don't have a pool. Now you know. 70 rands plus 250 rands. It is 320 rands. But thank you, Hemia. The Hemia has explained it's used for swimming pools. So now we know, okay, the heath is used for swimming pools. So the original price is 320 rands. But during this sale, on this 1 day sale on Black Friday, you will buy it for 250 rands. So you're saving 70 rands. Write down the name of the product, which is now half price. Which product is that? That is now on half price. Let's look through our different products. Here you see it's 30% off. Here 50% off. Which one is half price? Ariel. Ariel is half price. Thank you. Then Ariel is the one that is half price because it is 50% off. And then number 4, convert 750 mils to liters. We are converting now. So that's what you usually get. In an exam, you'll get a mixture of questions. This one is solely about finance, right? But then they are including the aspect of measurements in here. So we need to convert now. 750 milliliters to liters. Unfortunately for us, we are given there. So if you have forgotten, you will see you are lucky enough. They tell you 1 liter is equals to 1,000 milliliters. 1 liter is equals to 1,000 milliliters. So to move from liters to milliliters, what do? You need to provide me with an answer now, guys. Why are you quiet now? Liters to milliliters, what do you do? And then from milliliters to liters, what do you do? Which sign, what, how are you converting? How are we doing the conversions? Okay, I've got the answer 0.75 liters. That's what everyone is giving me. And they calculated it in one of these two ways. They either said 750 mils divided by 1,000. So to move from milliliters to liters, you would divide, right? To move from milliliters to liters, you would divide. But to move from liters to milliliters, if the question was reversed, you would multiply. But right now, it means you divided the 750 divided by 1,000. Then you got the 0.75. Another way of doing this would be 750 milliliters multiplied by 0.001. Then you will get your 0.75 liter. But we did this work, we did a lot of this now. Thank you so much for even showing me your calculations. Lisedi, let me send you the slides after this. Oh, which one? Oh, it's just the price before saving, Lisedi. The 70 rands plus the 250, which is 320. You got that, right? Okay, question 5. Calculate the total price of 1 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola and 2 2-liter bottles of Fanta. Let's go to the 2-liter bottles here. We're given the 2-liter bottles there as, these are the 2-liter bottles, right? It's either the Coke, the Sprite, or the Fanta. They are going at 30% off, so you'll buy them for 11 rands each. So as long as you're buying either Coke, Sprite, or Fanta, it will be 11 rands each. So how much we are calculating, keyword is calculate. So we need to show our calculations. Calculate the total price of 1 2-liter bottle of Coke. So that is it's 1 2-liter bottle of Coke plus 2 2-liter bottles of Fanta. So it's 1 plus 2, which will be 3, right? So it is actually 33 rands. Lisedi, are you fine? Were you able to get that that number that you wanted? Tell me. If not, I'll type it in for you in the chat box. Yes, thank you so much. It's exactly those calculations. Thank you. 11 rands times 3, which is 33 rands. And then now we are arranging all the sale prices in ascending order. We arrange in ascending order. So which one is ascending? Is when we are moving from smallest to biggest, right? So we need to write these prices from the smallest one, the cheapest one, to the most expensive one. Smallest to biggest. That's the order. So the cheapest one here, let's look through, it's 11 rands, right? So that would be my number 1. The next one is 18 rands. That would be number 2. Then there's 15 rands, number 3. 22 rands, number 4. 30 rands, number 5. 43 rands, number 6. 44, number 7. 45, number 8. 65, number 9. And 250, number 10. So that's the ascending order. You will write those prices like that. It would be 11 rand, 15 rand, 18, 22, 30, 43, 44, 45, 65, and 250. Write them down in ascending order. That's exactly how you do it, and you'd get your full marks for that question. And then moving on to question 2.1. This one you will remember from the, when we covered, Contra, what's the section? The financial documents and, okay, let me go back. What did I do wrong now? I didn't notice. I'm so sorry. Where is my highlighter eraser here? Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that. Thank you for the note there. This one is number 2, the 15 rand one. And this one is the one that's number 3. Yes. Thank you, Tulani. Okay, guys, this one is, we were dealing with statements, account statements, financial documents. It is that week when we were using MS Teams, so you might not have been in those classes, but the videos are available, so you can go through them once again to refresh your memory, ne? But we can still do it right now. If you, I don't know, you'll let me know if you struggle, but I don't think you will. This is the student fees statement for Tamryn Abrahams for September 2017. So Tamryn goes to the University of Cape Town, and this is the statement she got from the university for that year. So we've got a lot of details. You'll remember from doing accounts and the financial documents that you'll see a lot of details. Here we've got the address, statement of account as on, then there's a date provided that this statement is issued on which date, email address, invoice ID, student name, student number, account number, anticipated funding, and then you've got the columns there, you have the date. So they'll show you exactly on which date this transaction happened. And then details are providing the details about it's more information about that particular transaction. Then you've got debit, you've got credit, and you've got balance. Debits in this case here is the money that is charged to Tamryn's account. So this is how much Tamryn owes to the University of Cape Town. All the money listed under debit is all the money that she owes. And all the money under credit is the money she has paid into this account. That's why you will see that at the very top, we've got 14,819 rands 50 cents. That's your balance, right? Then you add the other debit value of 148 rands 20 cents. When you add those two together, you got 14,967 rand 70 cents. So you keep adding the debits, it's the balance plus debits to get the new balance, or balance subtract the credits. So you need to make sure that your transactions, you take into account every transaction that happened on each day. So here we see on the 16th of January here, there was a credit of 8,650. That means Tamryn paid this money into this account. and thereby it reduced the money owing. The money on the balance right now is showing the money that she is owing to the university. So in the beginning, she owed 14,967 rand 70 cents. And then when she paid this 8,650 rands, she was left owing 6,317 rand 70 cents. So we keep applying it like that. But it's important to note that for the values that are under debit, you add them, and then when you want to find the balance, right? To find the balance, you'd be adding the ones on debit, subtract the ones on credit to find the value on the balance. That's why even here they've indicated that they're negative. This is applying to this because this is a statement issued by the University of Cape Town to Tamryn Abrams. So it's the university statement issued to Tamryn. So Tamryn is owing the university. So this is all the money she is owing in the debit. Then, now this is how you find it in the question paper. Annexure A shows the student fees statement for Tamryn Abrahams, a second-year architecture student at the University of Cape Town, UCT. Use Annexure A to answer the questions that follow. This was not in the question paper. It was on the addendum. So when you get your exam paper, you will get your question paper and your addendum, which you will refer to. Right now, for the sake of when you are at home, it's important that when you download these past papers, you also download the addendum. You can find more of these question papers on the GBE website. There you'll find a lot of other question papers as well that you can use to practice. Ne? So this is taken from the addendum, Annexure A. So it's very important that you read carefully how it's directing you, because then you wouldn't be able to answer any of these questions if you did not have access to the addendum. Question 2.1.1. Explain, please type in the chat box your answer there. Explain the meaning of the term interest with reference to the student fees statement. With reference to this particular statement we are dealing with, the student fees statement, what is interest? We'll see here where they speak of interest is interest on overdue fees. So this is interest on overdue fees, which was at the value of 148 rands 20 cents. So this was charged on the overdue fees. So in this context, what does interest mean? You don't have to be afraid that you won't give the right answer. The thing is, you can literally phrase it however you want, however you understand it, as long as you meet the main points of the answer. Okay, Lisedi, you have given me the definition of interest in general, the one we were using when we were doing investments and loans, right? I want you now to give me the definition of interest based on this statement right here. It is very important that we understand this. It says, explain the meaning of the term interest with reference to the student fees statement. So when we look at the student fees statement, interest here is not money borrowed, if you can notice. Tamryn did not borrow any money from the university, or it didn't take any loan. Ne? So your definition of interest, Lisedi, is correct. Yes, it is correct, but not regarding this context of a student fees statement. So it would be correct if we were dealing with loans or bond payments, you know, but right now it is in terms of this particular statement that we are dealing with. Okay, Genesis says it's the extra money she has to pay for missing payments. And then Limondre is saying interest refers to her overdrawn amount on paying back the balance of her studies. Okay, guys, that is now correct because it is in context. The interest charge here is the interest charged because of the fees she's still owing. So it was supposed, the fees were supposed to be paid by a specific date and she did not pay. So because of the late payment, she will be charged interest. So it is in this context. So however you phrase it, Limondre and Genesis, that is correct. Anyway, as long as it refers to the fact that it is related to the money she will now have to pay, the extra money she will now be charged for paying her fees late or for not paying on time, or, you know. So the various ways, literally your ways are also correct, even these ones, as long as we get the point across. You can say interest refers to the amount that will be added to an account that is not settled yet, because that's what universities do. If you haven't paid your account on time, they charge you interest. So if the date for you to pay was like 30th of Jan and you did not pay by 30th of Jan, you paid 31st of Jan, you will be charged interest because you paid a day later than you were supposed to. Or it's extra amount charged on the late payments, or extra money to be charged on overdue fees. It's even telling you here, interest on overdue fees. So it's extra money charged on overdue fees, or money charged for not paying fees on time. Or interest in this context is the charge levied because of unpaid fees or late payment of fees. So it's really literally here, as long as you referred to what is happening in context. Interest is the additional amount charged on the current fee for the student that didn't pay on time. Yes, Nipo, that is also correct, as long as it's within the context. Yeah? So Lisedi's answer is correct in the general terms of what interest is. But in the terms of this question, what this question was looking for was with reference to this statement. So in order to get full marks, you would have to use these other definitions that you guys have just said, or the definitions I've provided, right? It's very important that we read. That's why we are doing these past papers together, so we understand how the questions are asked and to pay attention to the keywords. So we see that here, if you answered any of these ways, you'd probably get the whole 2 marks, ne? But for someone marking Lisedi's paper, it would probably be 1 mark or half a mark, because she's indicating that he at least it's a boy, remember? Yeah, it's a boy. Lisedi, you're a boy, ne? So it shows that he understands exactly what interest is. So he might get a mark for that, but not the 2 marks. So it's important that when you answer your questions, you make sure you give an answer with the full marks that are allocated to that question. Yeah? Then question 2.1.2, write down the balance excluding interest that was brought forward on the last day of the previous year. What balance was brought on the last day of the previous year? The preview here, you'll see that all our transactions, almost all of them, occurred 2017, right? So the previous year is 2016. 2016. So it's telling us to excluding interest. So we need to write down the balance brought forward excluding interest. So it is 14,819 rands 50 cents. Thank you, Genesis. That is the amount brought forward in the previous year, excluding interest. If they had just said, calculate the amount, the balance brought forward, including interest, you would give the one there, the 14,900, if it was including interest. Then, okay. 2.1.3, calculate the monthly interest rate that was used on the overdue fees for the previous year. Calculate the monthly interest rate. We need to calculate the interest rate on the overdue fees for the previous year. So what's your answer there, people? Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, please, Lisedi wants to speak. Can you speak, Lisedi?
So my answer, ma'am, is 14,891.50 divided by 148 rand and 20 cents
And then what answer?
times 100.
Okay, so what answer did you get?
I got 1%.
You said 14 divided by 148 point.
No, ma'am, that's not what I said. What I said was 14,819 rand and 50 cents divided by 148 rand and 20 cents times 100. So I said,
And you got 1%.
yes, ma'am.
How did you type it in your calculator? Because that answer is correct. Did you write it like this? Look at your screen.
Yes, ma'am, exactly that.
Okay, then, Liseji, you read it the other way around. How you were reading it to us was you said 14,819.50 divided by 148. So it was sounding like you were saying this 50 divided by this. It sounded like that. Do you see how it sounded?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but you wrote it like this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then that's excellently said. Thank you so much. You will get your full 3 marks for this question. So the answer there, like Lisedi has just given us the answer. That's exactly as he explained it. That is exactly how we need to calculate it. That 148 rands 20 cents divided by the 14,819 rands 50 cents multiplied by 100. Why are we multiplying by 100? We need to get our answer as a percentage. When we deal with rates in here, the rates that have to do with this amounts of money, we will get them in percentages. So the monthly interest rate was actually 1%. Why did I even show you all this? Because I've always advocated we round off at the very, very last step to get to make sure your answer is as accurate as possible. So the final answer there is 1%. Lisedi got the answer correct. So this is how we are doing it. I hope you understand why we are doing this. It's the 148 rands 20 cents, which is the interest charged on these fees. So this was the interest charged on these fees divided by the overdue amount. So the interest will always be charged on the overdue amount. So what we've just worked out is that the monthly interest rate is actually 1%. So each time you are late with payment on your fees, you will be charged an extra 1%. So if you were owing 50,000 rands, it would be they would work out the 50,000, the 1% of 50,000 rands. So let's suppose it's that 50,000 rands, right? It would be the 50,000 rands multiplied by 1% to find the interest rate. To find the exact value, the rand value that needs to be charged on your account. What would be 1% of 50,000 rand? 50 times, it would be 500 rands. So you would be charged 500 rands interest. So depending on how much you owe, it means they'll charge you 1% of that money. And then 2.1.4, write down the code and the name of the module or course that is the most expensive. Question is clear. We need the code and the name. The name. And that is for 2 marks. Code and the name of the course that is the most expensive. So which one is the most expensive here? Let's go through our things. These are the courses, right? We can see the courses here. APG, we're taught it's 3,000. The other one is also 3,030, 2,200, 2,280. Which one is the most expensive? The most expensive is this one here, the last one here. Going at 29,460 rands. APG 2039W Design and Theory Studio 2. That cost is 29,460. Imagine that. That's how that is very expensive. So that is the most expensive cost there. That's all you needed to do. You just needed to read your statement and provide the answer. That was free 2 marks. You can see. 2.1.5, show how the amount of 6,317 rands 70 cents was calculated. Where is that amount? I need you to show me. Do your calculations, write in the chat box or raise your hand. This amount here, how was it calculated? How did they find this amount? I think I explained this in the beginning. Eh? When we started with this question, I explained this. How was this amount calculated? Show all the steps with how it was calculated for 2 marks. Free 2 marks again. Is anyone preparing an answer or should I give you the answer? Okay, Genesis is saying they deducted 8,650 from 14,976 and 70 cents. Yes, that is very correct, Genesis. Subtracted that that last value of credit from exactly. So the last amount you had there, the last one you had on the balance was the 14,967 rand 70 cents. Subtract the amount on the credit. This, we are lucky enough in this statement, they're even showing us the sign of what to do with the values in that column. They are indicating that for the credit, you subtract. Debits is a positive number, so you add it. So that's why it's easy enough. So these are free marks. That's why I said it's free marks. The 14,967 rand 70 cents minus 8,650, you will get your 6,317 rand 70 cents. So that's the balance you have on the date of 16 January 2017. Because you know it's, yeah, that's the balance you have that day. So that means Tamryn is now only owing 6,317 rand 70 cents as of the 16th of January. Genesis, I think let's not necessarily in all cases, ne? It really depends on the type of account, on the account we are dealing with at the time. Right now, in this case, this is the statement issued by the University of Cape Town, whereby these values here in the debit are the values that Tamryn is owing to them, right? And then the credits are the values whereby when Tamryn pays, it deducts or it reduces the total amount she's owing in the account. It would be different, however, if it was a different account. Let's say if it was Tamryn's personal account. Ne? Tamryn's personal account would show different, it show it differently. But I'd need you to, I think, let me have this class again on, when we finish these two papers, this week we're going to do paper 1 for the November 2018, as well as paper 2 for November 2018. So I'm hoping we finish by Thursday. Then Friday, I will make sure we try cover the sections we struggled with in these papers. Ne? So take note every day as we are doing these papers from Monday to Thursday. Take note of which particular sections were most difficult for you to answer or grasp or remember, so that we can do a revision of that on Friday based on this week's papers. Ne? I think this will be one of them where I'll show you the differences between the accounts and how on the other times the credit is not a negative. So please, everyone, take note of the sections that you struggle with. 2.1.6. Calculate the total amount debited to this account for the courses studied in the 2017 academic year, including interest on the overdue fees in 2017. So we're calculating the total amount debited to this account in the year 2017. So all the amounts debited in the year 2017, including interest on overdue fees. So 2017, that's what we are focusing on. The debits that occurred 2017 are these ones. All the amounts she's owing for this year, 2017, these are the ones. So the easiest way to solve this is just to add all of these values. That would be the shortest, easiest way. Okay, not this week, Nipo. Maybe, yeah, the previous weeks. I will announce when, but this week we've got the financial section, the past papers. So I think next week I'll look into covering that section. I will let you know in time though, so that we can also prepare. So the easiest way to answer this question is to just add all of these values here, because those are the amounts in the debit column for the year 2017. Those are the values. Another way you can do this, however, is, where's the 62,594? That's the one here. Another way is to take that 62,594 minus 6,317 rand 70 cents. Why? Why these two? All other debits occurred in between these two, right? This was the last balance before all other debits were added, and then this was the latest balance, ne? So that's why we say the 62 minus that 6,307 rand 70 cents. It would give you all of these values here, the total of these values here. Then you add these last two, the interest there. That's why it's 2 times 395. Then you add those two, then you'd still get your total debited in that account for that year. So it's up to you. If you can clearly understand this, that this is the last balance there, then the other one there, every other debit occurred in between those two balances. So if you say the 62,594 rand 70 cents minus 6,317 rand 70 cents, it would give you a total of all of these debits. Then you add these last two. You'd still get the same answer. Another way is to taking the overall total due to the university, 40,386 rand 60 cents, plus the amounts on the credits, plus this, the amounts on the credits. You add those, and then you subtract what? You subtract those amounts on those two, the top two on the debit for that previous year, because the total due is including everything that actually happened on this statement. This one, the 40,000, is including everything, right? So it's that 40,000, subtract the two on the credit. I'm sorry, It's the 40,000 there. You add these two on the credits. You add these two on the credits, and then you subtract those ones at the very top on the debit. Either way, you will get the same answer. I would advise just go for the simplest route, add everything indicated as 2017 on the debit side. It's easy enough, you quick enough, you move quickly to your next answer and you get your 3 marks. All of them give you the same answer, but that one was the easiest to work out because it was just addition. Then state the payment method used to transfer. Oh, okay, sorry, Genesis. Why does the 395 francs 95 occur twice? It was charged on different months, if you can notice, Genesis. You see here, this one was charged on the 31st of August. The other one was charged on the 30th of September. So that means she's not been paying fees ever since. She hasn't paid. So every month they charge interest over that amount. Remember, this is the total amount she's owing, right? So in August, they charge her 1% of this amount that she's owing end of August. That's why there's this charge that month. Then in September again, she didn't pay again. That's why she's also charged once again the 395 because the balance is still the same. Is that clear for you, everyone, and Genesis? Okay, we don't have time anymore, guys. We have to go. So the state the payment method. The payment method is a direct deposit. We don't have time anymore, so we'll continue tomorrow, ne? Tomorrow, really, we are continuing with this paper 1. We'll be finishing paper 1 tomorrow. So that's why it's a direct deposit. Here, you'll see each time there's a credit, there's a direct deposit. It's written the direct deposit. So yes, you can say direct deposits or you can say EFT. Either of the two are correct. That is it from me today. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. If you can, please download the papers so that you can be able to make notes on your papers as we work on this together. Or you write notes in your book so that you can so that you can get feedback now. Thank you so much, guys. See you tomorrow at 1 p.m.